feel like I need one of our payoffs before we can realistically step them. Ew. Some sort of container to start decks into. Yeah, that would be nice. You have like folders that you could click there. That's probably the interface they need in order to give us more of them. It's not a terrible draw. I might just punt this path where they have Dazzler, honestly. Rounds folder, control folder, decks I feel guilty playing folder. We've Mystique Dazzler. Okay, gamer, I see you.
Clear for takeoff.
I see you, gamer. I assume Grandmaster loop cards to locations like Sanctum of Planet. Yes, definitely. I need a Darkhawk or a Mist Marble here. That could have been worse. It means I need Darkhawk though and not Mist Marble.
I am Iron Man.
Darkhawk in their Mojo deck is cute. Oh, you know what else is cute, chat? This lets me put 2 cards here and not worry about Mojo. Actually, am I supposed to play here just in case they like Enchantress me or something, middle? There's no way that Mystique deck's playing Enchantress, right? Famous last words? Yeah, they're just leaving.
Victory.
How's Grandmaster? Kind of Get her played center in case it turns into a forge. Miss Marvel with Mystique? I think it's sustainable. Put some rocks in their deck. They also know we're a Darkhawk deck, so like the Ghoulia is a beneficial location to us that might chase them out. I think it's Marvel into Mystique by Marvel, Ironheart, Grandmaster the Ironheart. Okay, change of plans. All right, Grandmaster. This is where your training arc begins, okay, bud? We're counting on you, buddy. It all starts here. Nailed it. Easiest game of Marvel Snap we've ever played. The tough part here is if they have an 8-power thing, we lose the left. I'm staying though. Grandmaster worked hard for this. He wouldn't have done this if we don't take the W. Together, good sweet time.
Victory.
One of the things to think about when you have Grandmaster in a show like this is you want to take your Korg and your Rock Slide and ideally split them up into different paths. So that way, if you hit Grandmaster, you can guarantee he goes on the Rock Slide. Snap on the Asgard flipping us with us having flipping up with us having Darkhawk here. Power Hawk here. if we hit Grandmaster, we actually can move the Korg out of Asgard to be able to still get a Miss Marvel bonus there. It's noteworthy. We're about to be Goblin, right? Yeah, maybe. I mean, our Hawk's still huge there if that happens. Mystique into Ravonna, and then next turn I can Iron Man plus Grandmaster.
Opponent snapped.
What are unknown cards is Shang? Could definitely be Shang on an unknown card here. Come and get it, bud. Okay.
I am Iron Man.
Miss Marvel still put points middle. I think I'd rather play for the left side a little bit harder. I played Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3 when it was in early access a decade ago, but I've not played it since it released. Just haven't had time. Why not land at Ironheart for more points to the left? So I think I want the highest chance to put points on the right. But as a big fan of running the timer down to 0. I'm about 70 hours into co-op Baldur's Gate 3 and I'm about to finish my character creation. Oh well. The opponent's deck seems neat, but Darkhawk is such a weird inclusion. They are sweating hard in this Gold Conquest chat. Running the timer down every round.
Oh, snap.
Here we go, more like here we slow. It's funny because it's sad. Ooh, they learned they shouldn't goblin us left and right, Chip. I think we go Hawk into Mystique by Hawk, Grandmaster the Black Widow. And then we have a end game. Last turn rock slide. Well, Grandmaster still trigger if the card's but it will not. It has to move the card. It also only triggers on unrevealed cards, though. So, like, when I play Grandmaster left here, it's guaranteed to tag Black Widow and move her. Dock mid could deny Grandmaster. Yeah, but if they dock mid, that's like probably good for me, right? The deck command is the untap bot, which periodically just doesn't work. Exclamation point decks gets you the MTG bot, which should work most of the time. I think it's this. I think I want to put more stats here. This adds 10 here, and it adds 4 here. Get strong. Kind of. Tie the Wasp, we lose the Breaker? No, they played a Widow's Bite. Sure. I guess the Widow's Bite was... Oh, playing the Widow's Bite is correct, because it's neutral Blue Marvel and it pumps Dazzler. That makes sense. Would not be surprised if something like this ends up being Grandmaster's best home. It feels like it's serving a useful function here in a deck that's like full of powerful cards. To head off your question at the pass, you can replace Miss Marvel with losing games. She's a very powerful card you should just buy. She's a real good.
Opponent snapped. Escaped.
Oh, they're destroy. Excellent retreat, huh? that was a good one, yeah. Yes, thank you for the 2/3 of the year. Welcome back. The problem with like long Grandmaster Odin stuff is that it's really not meaningfully different or better than the other variations of that archetype that's existed over the years. And they're just not particularly strong.
Snap.
Oh my gosh, I did it again, gamers. Shoot. Ah. I guess I needed this there for the energy, but it's a pretty big mistake. Does this win the game? This to Zola, sure does. Does this beat Zola? This is 28 middle. This is add 6 up to 18. This beats Zola. Ship it. Damn it. Oh wait. Are we still good with the 6-power Deadpool? We might be done. I forgot they could Deadpool too.
I am
Damn.
Iron Man.
I know this is gonna shock some of you to hear, so you might want to sit down if you're standing up. But I think there's a good chance my Zabu deck probably gets better if I cut one of the bad cards and replace them with Shang-Chi. That's for me, yeah, exactly. Hey, AJ Calixto, thanks for re-upping that Prime for the 2nd month. Welcome back.
Enough said, bub.
Draw here.
Enough said, bub. All systems go.
So they have Arnim Zola, which makes Taskmaster less likely. They have 24 power Deadpool. Yeah, they can't null and Deadpool. Alright, we need Wolverine to go anywhere other than right.
Enough said, bub.
Ooh, of all the experiences in Marvel Snap, that is definitely one of them. Every single time. The games I play that don't involve Professor X tend to be pretty reasonable. Professor X is still just the biggest eye roll inducing card. Might have time to play the Sentinel on curve here. I'll fit it in somewhere. Yeah, unfortunately, this deck just probably doesn't keep up with Destroy unless you have Shang-Chi or Shadow King. Honestly, Shadow King's probably fine as a cheaper alternative to Shang in this deck. I'm gonna play Rock Slide on the right, so that way if we feel Grandmaster, we can guaranteed hit him. I guess Grandmastering doesn't even really accomplish anything though, right? I don't have a Hawk. Like, I think this is like my best possible line. They're leaving. Okay, their hand is also terrible. Sentinel will be better than Mystique. Well, Mystique right adds 5 points of power to the middle because it copies Miss Marvel. So this would this play without counting where Ironheart lands puts me at 8, 11, and 8, which has me winning all 3 plus a smattering of 6 across the board. No bonus, right? Oh, yeah, you're right, because I have Rock Slide there. Sure. Okay. I mean, I guess putting the cards that I've already played into New York makes them slightly less good. Some utility from me.
Oh, snap.
Snap on the double widow. Cut them off of a third of their draws. Love to draw Ravonna next turn, ideally. To people in chat that are discussing card reworks, I'd prefer if we didn't do that in my chat. Feel free to take it to DMs or somewhere else. Just think it's not a super useful discussion thing. One of the nice things about Grandmaster versus Absorbing Man is you're not as strict on the sequencing that you have for it. I could like do this and wait a turn. Alright, so they are Cerebro 3 it looks like. Our deck's pretty good against Valkyrie, which is great. Case in point. I get the Iron Lad middles, that way if we hit Mystique, we have double Miss Marvel. Are they debating pulling their own rug out here? It feels like they're debating pulling their own rug here. That's adorable. Yeah, I wish I would have moved Widow now. I wouldn't have had to fill the center. We could have Iron Man there to fight for it. Unfortunately, we hit the one card in our deck that was a brick here. If Iron Lad had been Mystique or Darkhawk, we win the game quite easily. There are 7 cards left in their deck here. Lose to Cerebro Mystique, but they might not have those. Got
Victory.
This is one of those you're supposed to leave every time if you're playing a regular Marvel Staff deck, but when you're playing a Darkhawk deck, it's just like statistically they probably bricked here. We cut them off 2 draws and put a bunch of rocks in their deck. Alright, gamers, it's about that time. Let's tap the ad break. We'll play some more of this when we get back. Probably another hour or so. I want to get a feel for this and see if Grandmaster feels like it's worth the slot. And then we'll kick along to maybe we'll do some Odin Wong stuff after we're done with this one. Be a little silly in bed. Thanks for hanging out and doing your drops here with us this week. Don't go anywhere. YouTube gamers, we're 15 likes off of 300. Can we pump that up over there a little bit more? I believe in your ability to find the button. What did you remove for the GM slot? Well, this isn't really like like, variations of this deck have existed, but it's not like I started with a list that didn't have GM and then cut something for it. You tried Grandmaster in Bounce. Yeah, we started, the first 2 hours we played today after Grandmaster release was Darkhawk Bounce. He felt kind of mediocre in there. Every time I had Grandmaster in my hand, he just, like, was worse than doing anything else almost. Is Grandmaster in each card? Almost assuredly. The question is he optimal in his niche, or is he worse than the other things you can currently be doing? That's like its design, most designs are niche. The question is it optimal in its niche, or should you just be doing other things? Like, is it meaningfully better than just playing Absorbing Man? We lost Iron Man, they lost Mobius. Them losing Mobius is good for us. What's going on, Incredible? Thanks for the third of the year, welcome back. Again, just to hammer home something that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to evaluating cards, is you winning with a deck of Marvel Snap cards does not lead to the conclusion, ergo, that deck of Marvel Snap cards is reasonable, or Grandmaster is good at it. For reference, we had a 75% win rate in 20 ladder matches with Darkhawk Bounce with Grandmaster. But my experience after playing that deck was definitely, oh, Grandmaster feels unnecessary in here and worse than other things I could have been doing at every point, and I don't think it's a card I want to play in that deck. But I didn't come to that conclusion based on the win rate. Whenever I ask someone their thoughts or feelings on a deck, or their opinion on a card in a deck, and they just regurgitate their win rate with that deck, it always feels to me like they didn't understand the question I was asking them. If I wanted to know your win rate, I would say, hey, what's your win rate with that deck? But simply regurgitating your win rate does not remotely tell the entire story of what happened with the deck while you were playing it. I guess the second Widow's Bite lets them turn on Miss Marvel arbitrarily. A lot of people have trouble articulating on that level. Yes, it's very difficult to get useful communication out of people. Completely agree. So the 14 months Night Blade, welcome back. I think I just have to go. There's a world where they play hard for here, and then the Darkhawk beats them. Because the Darkhawk is 16. I just don't know that 8 more is enough to win the middle. I'm gonna limp. Maybe we get it. Or let us limp, I'm gonna limp. We cut him off with 2 draws. To the third of a year, Dark Dart, welcome back. Our hope here is that they play for left and right. Yeah, they played for middle. Right. Wait, do we beat that? We're +8 in the middle, right? Yeah, buddy.
Victory.
Dr. Diggity, thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. And you thought you limped it. Yeah, I mean, we were both on a weekend, right? And our Darkhawk. Again, that's just like one of those games where that's a game where you don't look at that game and think, oh, Grandmaster won me this game. But Grandmaster with Widow cutting them off of draws and making their draw limp makes that better, right? If you're ever looking for decks that I've played previously on stream, you can always type !decks in my chat and get a link to everything that I've played in recent memory. The last 2 years worth of recent memory, in fact, if you want it. Doing this. We've cut them off of 2 draws. We're putting some rocks in their deck now. Sure. These are both 16. They could have Shang, but we also Widow's bit them twice, so. Maybe I'm supposed to hawk the middle, actually. It could have been right to hawk the middle.
Victory.
Play for all 3 there to play around to Shang-Chi. Yeah, that might have been right. We won either way, but something to stew on. I'll wait and see in case they're an Enchantress deck, but I believe this is a play a bunch of Miss Marvel center angle. Ooh, is it now with Death Zoe? So they get to put the Widow's Bites into the Lockjaw, but like there's gonna be enough bites that they're like going to redraw them, and we're like Korging them as well, huh? Okay. Okay.
Minions to me. I know that the numbers on Professor X and Blob say that they're probably fine and reasonable cards, but the experience of playing against them is still just, it's just so awful. It's huge, huge downers. Also, I'm not even talking about popularity when I say their numbers are reasonable. The win rates on Blob as is aren't that impressive for what it's worth. Wind, aid my hand.
Let's go Zabu into Ironheart. So I could Miss Marvel into the left potentially if we want to. If we find her. Solo Tuba be enough in that situation. Solo Tuba doesn't enable Miss Marvel. Grandmaster moves Rock Slide. He does, but that leaves me the same amount of points on the right. On the right. I think I want more points on the right. This gives me 19 in the middle, and it gives me... I guess I lose to Magneto middle this way. We'll pick a coin against Magneto here. Oh, you know what? If I know I'm losing here to Vision anyways, maybe I should Marvel here and Black Widow here. I think that's actually the play. So because they have Vision face up on the board and this isn't beating Vision anyways, I should Widow here and Marvel here. And then that puts me to 15 here, and it puts me to 1823 here, and then I'm beating Magneto anywhere. Yes, my end play here was wrong. I should have gone Marvel here, Black Widow here. That's what I should have done. Weird Retreat. I don't know. I think a lot of their cards there didn't beat what we had set up. For the people wondering, Weird Retreat, both my Iron Lad and my Mystique on the right were Miss Marvel, threatening to add 10 extra points into the center. Yes, and they knew we had a third Mrs. Marvel with threatened spreading power. Not having any of either of our twos feels bad, man. Coin flip at least. I think we do this. And then we probably like Hawk here, Mystique here.
Enchantress.
Holy, that was a tempo Enchantress. I guess they can't Enchantress by Marvel anyways because of their
All
cost though, but
systems
that
go.
seems great for us, yeah. This is 8 here up to 14. This is 13 here up to 17.
Jeff being able to move's a bit of a wild card. Kurt, thank you for the over 3.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Victory.
Destroyed him is incredibly bad for our deck. The Grandmaster can send someone into Death's Domain for us, which is nice. I think I'm gonna leave. I think there's just been way more than enough Destroy that someone stamping Death's Domain is a good reason to bounce.
Escape.
We should have a hard counter for it. Does this feel better than the first one that we played? So, overall, I would say this deck feels less powerful than the Bounce Darkhawk deck that I played earlier. But at the same time, Grandmaster feels like he fits better here than he does in the Bounce deck. Like every time I had Grandmaster in hand in the Bounce deck, basically it was like, oh, I should be doing something else. The something else is better. Whereas here, I have Grandmaster. It's like, oh, Grandmaster is my best play that's meaningful here. And this deck does seem fine. The only game we've played so far where we felt helpless was the one where we got blobbed. Unsurprising. I'm gonna cook Lady Deathstrike Grandmaster. Why wouldn't you just play Arnim Zola?
Escaped.
Similar to Death's Domain. If your deck doesn't have a Shang-Chi or a Shadow King, you gotta leave Shuri's Lab. Just because it's so good for Destroy. Alright, gamers, I think it's time to stand back up. If you're a fellow old, don't forget to stretch. Grab some water periodically. How do you feel about Blob and its interaction with Darkhawk? I think in a world where Blob's floor was lower than 15, it would be nice if there was this nice sweet threat that was a natural predator to Darkhawk in the game. However, Blob being a predator to Darkhawk while simultaneously being getting to be both a predator to Darkhawk while also just being a 6/15 is a little much.
Opponent snapped.
Stay, my hawk is huge. Maybe, yeah, I'm supposed to leave. Okay, that's actually nice because it means I don't have to worry about them
don't have to worry about them reality stoning Dust Domain.
All systems go.
It's brutal when the most natural answer is also simply the most efficient power play. Yeah, that. We're good, right? We're good? Yeah. Not often. Shag murders 24 power worth of stuff, and he gets to come away clean. Grandmaster did help. How do you feel about the current state of Miss Marvel? I think Miss Marvel's in a very reasonable spot. I was also a proponent of her being in a reasonable spot even before the OTA, though, so feel free to count me as biased.
Wind, aid my hand.
Do I snap them here? I think I snapped them here.
Snap.
Okay, so they have Doctor Doom, is what this tells us. I guess they could have Vision or Jeff as well, but likely Doctor Doom. This is 6, 11, 22 here. That's probably good enough. Magneto could flip a coin to beat us.
Victory.
Oh, I lose the Miss Marvel buff with the 3s. Yeah, that's true. Luckily, the opponent doesn't know that I'm an idiot. So we're good. Fortunate shit. Boy, thank you for the entire year of support. get you a sword to go with that shield. Welcome back. Bob idea, if he hits 22, he blows up just like busting in blackjack. That's funny right there.
Oh, snap.
You guys snap on the back-to-back Widow's Bites here. Do you think any of the new splits and stuff may come with the next update? I would assume some of the stuff from the roadmap is coming with the next patch. Usually the coming soon stuff hit like 1 to 3 patches afterwards previously. So if not the February patch, then almost assuredly the March one, unless they hit some kind of major issue. Oh, they missed triggering their other Hawkeye there. So, I think I actually need to do this. So that way, if I draw Mystique, I can copy the Hawk. Because if I play all 3 of these center, Hawk pulls in off Grand Central. Then if I draw Mystique, she can't copy anything.
I am Iron Man. All systems go.
Did they forget they had a Nico trigger? And that was, the Hit Monkey was their last card in hand there.